Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my round 22 recap of the NRL weekly videos where I recap the round. So this week, first off, we had the Cowboys facing the Broncos. Now this will be Jonathan Thurston's last game, and it will also be Sam Friday's last game, like against each other. So for both sides here, there was a lot going into this game. This was a cracking game to watch, and the Broncos at the start were very sloppy. And Cowboys, I believe, had a quite extended lead at half time. But the Broncos did come back in the second half. But the Cowboys won this game 34-30. Now, the Cowboys try, the last one, was very, very good. And Talmalolo just got another one as well. I really enjoyed this match of football. Especially that it was one of JT's last coming up to his final weeks. I think that both teams here played really well, but the Broncos are really out of steam at the moment. Second game of the round on Friday night, we had the Warriors host the Broncos. Now this year the Warriors haven't been consistent at home, but this is a side, even though I think the Knights have played really good football in some points this year, this is a side that have a lot of difficulty with this team. Now I thought the Warriors were really good here and they played good. Isaac Luke, Sean Johnson, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck are great contenders for this side, and they're doing good things for them, especially with a 20-4 win over the Knights here. Warriors just sealing that spot in the top 8. There is no way. Everybody thought they'd slide out. I think I even thought so myself, but they had a big win here over Newcastle Knights. Now, a lot of people were calling this one the game of the round. This was possibly a grand final match, actually. So we had the Rabbits taking on the Roosters. Now, for this game, I tipped the Rabbits, and a lot of people thought the Roosters would win by 13 or more because the Rabbits would be out of steam after beating the Melbourne Storm last week. But, I don't know, the Roosters and Rabbits both played really well in this game. I think the Roosters' attacking side is brilliant, but I think the Rabbitohs have a bigger forward pack. And I think that forward pack, especially the Burgess brothers, is going to be a big thing for them if they're going to start winning games in the semi. But they did lose this game, unfortunately, 14 points to 18. And props to the Roosters here. This is their third or fourth win now in a row. Now, in my personal opinion, I'm going to say that this match is my game of the round. Now, the Panthers, for the third week, won a game in the last 10 minutes. Now, this is scary because the Penrith Panthers are such a good side, and for them to not lead games going into them is a big thing. And coming out at that end with those 2 points is good, but they need to be more consistent, the Panthers. They've got a really good team with Peachy, Cleary, even Maloney has been getting a lot better. I thought he hasn't had the best season. Good in origin period. But Penrith, 16-17. Those last few tries and Waitan Selesniak sealing it for the Panthers and Cleary missing that kick going into Golden Point, as you might have seen in my Parramatta video vlog, was just breathtaking. This game was so intense, especially going into Golden Point with two, not one, but two field goal misses was unforgettable for me, and it was a great match of football. So 16-17, Penrith defeating Gold Coast after leading 16 points to 6 with 5 minutes to go. Now, going into this game, even though they have not a great record against them, I tipped the Bulldogs to beat Manly. Now, Manly played really well, and I think Cherry Evans had one of his best games of the season. Played very well. I didn't get to watch a lot of this because I was on the train and to Sydney hotel and thing. But what I did watch, I saw Cherry Evans and Tom Trbojevic having a mad crack at this game. And it was an 18 points to 6 win with Tommy Turbo getting 2 tries for Manly. Now, as for the next game, all I can say is Blue and Gold Army, baby. Parramatta defeated St George Dragons 40 points to 4. Now, our team had an outstanding game. I think this was one of our best games of the season. Up there with the Manly game, but I think we let a few soft tries in that Manly game. But for us to dominate the St George defence, us attack, defend well, we had I'd say we would have had about 60% of possession that game. I'm not too sure how it worked out, but 40 points to 4. Jared Hayne hat-trick in about 20 minutes. Varve even powering towards the line. Mitchell Moses, that was the moment of the match for me. Splitting that dummy, Mitchell Moses played really well, and I think he had his best game all season. Helped out my super coach a lot. But Parramatta definitely showing signs they don't want the spoon and showing early signs of next year. Now, losing French is... I'm on both sides of this one, and I think they might bring him back this week, but we'll see going into 2019. But this was a brilliant game to watch. Moving on to Sunday, we had the Raiders and the Tigers with the Raiders at home. I thought the Raiders would comfortably win this game, but the Tigers played really well. Moses Mbai, I think, had his best game in Tigers colours. Splits through, great dummy, great try. It was a 20-22 or 18-20. I'm having a blank right now. With the Tigers winning for the first time, I think, in their last 5 matches against each other. Now, going into this game, I learnt that Benji Marshall has won 17 of his last 18 against Canberra Raiders, which is an amazing record, and shows that he's a big difference in the side. But the Raiders just couldn't do enough in this game, and they played... Elliot Whitehead was playing terribly, doing terrible things to players, and it wasn't nice to watch. But the Tigers got the 2 points here and put them closer to a big chance for the top 8. And for the last game of the round, this was a pretty good one to watch. We had the Storm and the Sharks. This was a really good football. I didn't think there were many errors, but it didn't feel like I was watching the Melbourne Storm. They did not play their best, and they could have played a lot better. Vunivalu had a standout game, and I put a bit of money on him as a try scorer, and he scored twice, so I was quite happy with that. I did think Melbourne would win this game by about either 2 or 12 points. I couldn't decide, but it ended up being a 3-point difference of 14-17 for the Sharks to take that one out. The Sharks are big threats, and I'm going to make a video about Grand Final soon, but I think the Sharks are massive, massive threats at the moment towards that Grand Final. I don't think they'll get the premiership, and I'll talk about that later, but I do think they're a big threat. Now, as for next week's tips, I'm going to tip Storm to beat Parramatta by 8. About 8. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Storm will take this one away at home. I'm going to say that the Rabbitohs will have a big win over the Broncos. I'm going to say that the Dragons are going to strike back here and beat the Tigers, kind of crushing top 8. I'm going to say that the Roosters will beat the Raiders after a shocking track record against them. They are quite a bogey team. I'm going to say that the Knights are going to suffer a loss to the Penrith Panthers, and I'm going to say that Panthers are going to have a comfortable lead into this game, not a potential 10 minutes to go kind of situation. Manly to beat the Titans, and the Warriors to beat the Bulldogs. So I think that's it for the round, and I'll see you guys next week.